Hello everyone and welcome to my Beyond the Gates CBS Update 24 channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Anita Dupree should be celebrating peace after everything she has survived, but on Beyond the Gates, peace never lasts long in Fairmont, Crest. Just when the Dupree family finally starts breathing again, new secrets, emotional confessions, and dangerous tensions threaten to pull everyone right back into chaos. And honestly, this latest round of drama may hit even harder because so many characters are emotionally exhausted already. Nobody has the strength for another war, but one is coming anyway. Anita's milestone moment is supposed to represent hope. After weeks of devastating fear, painful chemotherapy sessions, sleepless nights, and emotional breakdowns hidden behind brave smiles, Anita reaches an important turning point in her cancer battle. The entire family has watched her fight with incredible strength, and now there's finally a reason for cautious optimism. Whether it's the completion of her chemotherapy or a promising medical update, this moment carries enormous emotional weight for everyone connected to her. For Vernon Dupree, Anita's milestone feels almost miraculous. He has spent months pretending to be the strong pillar holding the family together while privately falling apart himself. Every hospital visit, every doctor's appointment, every late-night fear about losing his wife has chipped away at him emotionally and physically. That's why Anita's progress matters so deeply. It isn't just about her health. It's about Vernon. Finally believing their future together may still exist, but even during moments of celebration, cracks are beginning to show in Vernon's carefully controlled exterior. His recent memory lapses and growing health concerns remain hanging over the family like a storm cloud nobody wants to acknowledge. Madison's testing may have brought temporary relief, but viewers can already tell Vernon is not fully convinced everything is okay. He's trying desperately to focus on Anita's victory instead of his own fears, but the strain is becoming impossible to ignore. Meanwhile, Anita herself likely senses more than anyone realizes. She knows Vernon too well. After decades together, she can probably read every tiny shift in his behavior, every forced smile, every overly reassuring comment. Anita may be celebrating publicly, but privately she could already suspect Vernon is hiding something bigger than stress and exhaustion. And if that truth finally explodes later, it may devastate her more than the cancer diagnosis itself. At the same time, another emotional storyline is quietly unraveling across Fairmont Crest. Ashley Morgan's growing guilt over Grayson Perez. Ashley has spent weeks refusing to listen to Derek Baldwin's warnings. Derek repeatedly told her something felt wrong about Grayson. He called him sketchy, dangerous, suspicious. Ashley dismissed all of it as jealousy from an ex who couldn't move on. But after Grayson arrived, bleeding and terrified on her doorstep, Ashley was forced to confront a horrifying reality. Derek may have been right all along. Now Derek is reportedly preparing to apologize to Ashley, and ironically, that apology may only make Ashley feel worse. Because what exactly is Derek apologizing for? Doubting Grayson? Raising his voice? Pushing too hard? Ashley already knows the bigger issue is that she ignored every red flag standing directly in front of her. Derek's apology could trigger an emotional collapse because Ashley may realize she unfairly attacked the one person who genuinely tried protecting her. And there's another layer making this even more painful. Despite everything Grayson has done, despite the lies, the plasma ring involvement, the danger surrounding him, Ashley still cares about him deeply. That emotional conflict is tearing her apart. She's angry, she's scared, she feels manipulated, but she also sees a broken man trapped inside something far bigger than himself. Grayson never came across as inherently evil. That's what makes this storyline work so well. He feels tragic more than villainous. A desperate son trying to care for his mother slowly got swallowed by criminal chaos. He couldn't escape. Every bad decision pushed him deeper into danger until eventually there was no clean way out. And now Ashley is trapped in that nightmare with him. The fact that she broke rules to help him medically could have devastating consequences. If the truth comes out, Ashley's nursing career may be destroyed. Everything she worked for could disappear overnight because she chose compassion over protocol. Worse, she may now be emotionally tied to a criminal investigation involving dangerous people who clearly do not hesitate to use violence. That brings us directly to Jacob Hawthorne and Naomi Hawthorne, a marriage currently hanging by a thread of fear and secrecy. Naomi pushing Jacob for intel about the plasma ring is understandable, but it also creates enormous danger. Jacob's undercover operation has already spiraled far beyond what anyone anticipated. He's been assaulted, threatened, manipulated, and psychologically pressured non-stop. Every move he makes now carries life or death stakes. The problem is that Naomi senses this. She knows Jacob is hiding things. She sees the bruises, the exhaustion, the emotional distance. And because she loves him, she cannot simply sit back quietly anymore pretending everything is normal. Naomi's desperation for answers isn't about curiosity. It's about terror. She's terrified Jacob won't survive this investigation. And honestly, viewers probably share that fear at this point. The plasma ring storyline has become increasingly violent, especially with Dr. Leah Whitmore tightening her grip behind the scenes. Every episode reveals just how ruthless she truly is. Leah doesn't merely intimidate people, she psychologically controls them. Grayson became trapped under her authority. Ren acts almost like an extension of her violence. And Jacob's Rashad identity remains one mistake away from exposure. If Naomi pushes too hard for information, Jacob may either shut her out completely or risk compromising the investigation, trying to comfort her. Neither option ends well. Meanwhile, Smitty remains dangerously committed to exposing the plasma ring despite every warning he receives. His determination is admirable, but it's also reckless. He keeps believing he can outsmart the danger, but the walls are clearly closing in around everyone involved. Martin Richardson understands that better than most. Martin's political ambitions continue creating massive tension within both the Richardson and Dupree families. Every new campaign conversation carries hidden panic underneath because everyone knows Martin's secret could destroy everything overnight. And yet, Martin simply cannot let go of power. That's what makes his clashes with Kat so explosive lately. Their sibling arguments are no longer just playful bickering. There's real resentment underneath now. Kat sees Martin chasing dangerous ambitions while ignoring the emotional wreckage surrounding the family. Martin sees Kat as stubborn and judgmental while he's trying to secure a future for himself. But Kat's accusations hit hard because they contain truth. Martin is hypocritical. He wants loyalty and understanding from everyone else while constantly placing the family in impossible situations through his political obsession. Even Vernon seems increasingly worried about how far Martin is willing to push things. That's why Vernon confronting Joey Armstrong feels so significant. For months, Joey has operated like a shadow hanging over Fairmont Crest, quietly manipulating situations, collecting favors, inserting himself into vulnerable lives. He always maintains that charming, calm exterior, but underneath it is something deeply calculating. Vernon finally deciding to confront him directly shows how protective he has become of Martin and the family as a whole. But Joey is not easily intimidated. In fact, Vernon's warning may only intensify Joey's interest in maintaining leverage over Martin. Joey thrives on power dynamics. The moment someone tells him to back off, he usually pushes harder. And his reminder that Martin owes him is chilling because it reinforces the terrifying reality that Joey never helps anyone for free. Every favor eventually comes due. And Martin knows it. That's part of why his stress levels continue escalating. Between the political pressure, Smitty's investigation, Joey's influence, and the family's secret constantly threatening exposure, Martin is emotionally suffocating. He keeps pretending he can manage everything, but cracks are forming rapidly. Nicole Dupree sees those cracks too, even while juggling her own romantic chaos. Her upcoming confession to Danny could completely reshape several relationships depending on what exactly she reveals. If Nicole finally admits her feelings regarding Carlton and Teal, things could get messy very quickly. Because despite trying to maintain balance, Nicole's love life has become increasingly unsustainable. Carlton offers history, familiarity, emotional safety. Teal brings excitement, chemistry, unpredictability. And Nicole genuinely seems torn between them instead of simply playing games. That's why her confession matters. If she admits stronger feelings for one man, the other relationship may implode instantly. But there's also a possibility Nicole confesses something even more complicated, that she enjoys the attention from both men because it helps distract her from the emotional devastation of her collapsed marriage. Ted Richardson remains emotionally connected to Nicole no matter how hard both try moving forward. Their anniversary reflections proved that those scenes carried enormous emotional intimacy despite their separation. They cannot simply erase decades of shared life together, which creates serious problems for Shanice Johnson. Shanice has tried being patient, understanding, respectful, but at some point patience transforms into humiliation if boundaries never truly solidify. Leslie Thomas, recognizing this, is exactly why her confrontation with Ted over Shanice could become explosive. Leslie may be manipulative, but she's also perceptive. She sees Ted emotionally drifting back toward Nicole despite insisting otherwise. She sees Shanice risking heartbreak waiting for a man still tangled emotionally with his ex-wife. And because Leslie rarely filters herself, she's likely willing to say brutally honest things others avoid mentioning. Ted standing up for Shanice sounds promising on paper, but will his actions actually match his words? That's the bigger question. Because emotionally, Ted still reacts strongly to Nicole. Their scenes continue carrying unresolved tenderness. Even when they argue, there's emotional gravity pulling them together. Shanice cannot compete with decades of history unless Ted fully commits emotionally, and right now he clearly hasn't. Elsewhere in Fairmont, Crest, Vanessa McBride continues drifting deeper into Joey Armstrong's world despite mounting warnings from nearly everyone around her. Vanessa believes she's in control. That's the dangerous part. She sees Joey as misunderstood rather than dangerous, protective rather than manipulative, exciting rather than threatening. Every criticism from friends and family only pushes her closer toward him because she interprets their concern as judgment. But subtle signs keep suggesting Vanessa is slowly losing herself inside Joey's lifestyle. Making herself at home in his condo may appear romantic on the surface, but symbolically it's huge. Vanessa is integrating herself into Joey's environment completely now. His world, his rules, his power structure, and once someone becomes fully dependent emotionally inside Joey's orbit, escaping may become nearly impossible. Anita's disapproval matters because she recognizes the danger instinctively. Anita understands people. She sees beneath surfaces better than most characters on the show. Her concern regarding Joey isn't snobbery, it's intuition. She senses the darkness beneath his polished exterior. Unfortunately, Vanessa may need to experience serious consequences before she believes anyone's warnings. Meanwhile, Haley continues playing an incredibly dangerous game with Bill Hamilton. At this point, the tension surrounding Haley feels almost unbearable because viewers know she's walking a razor-thin line between manipulation and total exposure. Every conversation with Bill carries hidden panic underneath now. Bill is suspicious. Not fully aware yet, but suspicious enough to start connecting dots. The missing money bothered him. Lynette's involvement bothered him. Haley's reactions bothered him. Even Chelsea questioning him about Haley likely planted additional doubt inside his mind. And yet Haley keeps taking massive risks anyway. Drugging Bill repeatedly while pretending devotion is already horrifying enough. But her overheard phone conversations and financial behavior are becoming sloppier. The walls truly are closing in around her. The terrifying part is that Haley still believes she can outsmart everyone. That confidence may become her downfall. Because Bill Hamilton is many things, but he is not stupid. Once he fully realizes someone is manipulating him, his entire personality shifts. He becomes strategic, relentless, and ruthless. If he eventually uncovers evidence against Haley, their marriage could explode into one of the nastiest battles Fairmont Crest has ever seen. Chelsea and Naomi refusing to trust Haley suddenly looks far more justified now. And speaking of Chelsea, her emotional frustration with both parents continues intensifying. Chelsea, rejecting Danny's fashion partnership hurt Danny deeply, but Chelsea likely feels exhausted constantly navigating complicated family dynamics. Bill's chaos, Danny's emotional volatility, Haley's manipulation, Naomi's stress, Madison's lawsuit, Anita's cancer battle. Everything around Chelsea feels unstable lately. She's trying desperately to build something independent through Chelsea Cat because it's one of the few areas of her life not controlled by family dysfunction. But even that stability may not last forever, especially as Kat's own personal life grows increasingly chaotic through Tomas, Eva, and family drama. Kat attempting kindness toward Eva while simultaneously provoking jealousy around Isaiah reveals how emotionally messy things remain underneath the surface. These relationships are becoming tangled in ways nobody fully understands yet. Eva especially feels emotionally fragile lately. Her insecurity regarding Kat and Isaiah suggests deeper abandonment fears still driving many of her reactions. She constantly anticipates betrayal, rejection, or replacement. That emotional instability makes her unpredictable. And unpredictability in Fairmont Crest usually leads directly toward disaster. Meanwhile, Tomas continues quietly emerging as one of the more intriguing players within multiple storylines simultaneously. His investigation into Lynette demonstrates genuine intelligence and persistence. Unlike others getting distracted emotionally, Tomas remains observant, focused, curious. He notices inconsistencies, he follows leads, he keeps digging. That persistence could make him incredibly dangerous to Haley eventually. Especially if Vanessa unknowingly provides information exposing connections Haley desperately wants hidden. But Tomas also risks becoming too involved in situations far more dangerous than he realizes. Lynette disappearing without explanation already screams trouble. If criminal elements are connected to her situation, Tomas investigating aggressively could place him directly in harm's way. And honestly, danger feels everywhere now on Beyond the Gates. That's what makes this era of the soap so compelling. Every storyline overlaps emotionally, even when plots differ completely. Cancer battles affect marriages. Political ambitions impact criminal investigations. Romantic jealousy collides with organized crime. Family loyalty creates impossible moral decisions. Nobody in Fairmont Crest exists inside isolated drama anymore. Everything connects. Anita's milestone celebration may temporarily unite the Dupree family emotionally, but underneath that hopeful moment lies enormous instability, waiting to erupt again. Vernon's health fears remain unresolved. Martin's political secrets remain dangerous. Naomi fears losing Jacob. Nicole's romantic life grows messier. Danny struggles emotionally with aging, motherhood, and identity. Chelsea craves independence. Vanessa drifts deeper toward Joey. Ashley risks everything for Grayson. And at the center of much of the chaos stands Dr. Leah Whitmore, calm, calculating, and terrifyingly patient. Because unlike many soap villains driven by emotion, Leah operates strategically. She doesn't lash out impulsively. She engineers situations carefully. Every threat carries purpose. Every act of violence sends a message. Every fearful reaction strengthens her control further. That's why the plasma ring storyline feels so dangerous now. Leah isn't merely reacting anymore, she's escalating intentionally. Grayson's stabbing was never random. It was psychological warfare, a demonstration, a warning to Jacob, and if Jacob cannot maintain control emotionally, the entire investigation could collapse catastrophically. Which raises the biggest looming question moving forward: who survives when everything finally explodes? Because Fairmont Crest is rapidly approaching a breaking point where secrets cannot stay buried much longer. Haley's lies, Martin's cover-up, Joey's leverage, Leah's operation, Grayson's involvement, Vernon's health concerns, Nicole's divided heart. Every hidden truth is building pressure simultaneously. And once pressure reaches critical levels on a soap like Beyond the Gates, devastation usually follows. Relationships end. Families fracture. People die. Lives change permanently. Right now, everyone still believes they have time to fix things before disaster arrives. But they probably don't. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, please don't forget to subscribe my channel without missing any update.